Hello, welcome to the Epic Living blog. My name is Eric Pennington. Today I want to talk to you about mentoring. I've written and I've spoken about mentoring many times before in this arena as well as in others. And it's a vitally important thing to have someone who can come alongside of you and speak to you about the lay of the land that maybe you haven't walked on, but they have. To have someone who can speak into your life and give you the kind of advice that can help you grow in a multitude of areas. I've also written and spoken about the importance of having quadrants. As a friend of mine once alluded to, sort of a mentoring constellation. You may have someone specifically that you go to for business help. You may have someone you might go to spiritually for spiritual help. You may have someone who advises you on things relating to your health, your physical fitness, those type of things. But what I want to talk to you today about is making sure that you don't allow overlaps. And what I mean by that is that you may have a great mentor in the business side of things, and you may find yourself, because of the warm relationship, the growth that you've experienced, is you'll want to use that person as your physical fitness mentor or your spiritual mentor. Now, it doesn't mean that basic advice can't be given by those individuals. They may give you some great tips, but mentoring is different. It's an on-purpose event. It's an on-purpose, ongoing engagement, and it should be appropriate to where the person has expertise. For example, let's say that you have someone who is a spiritual mentor, someone who is helping you navigate life from the perspective of a God perspective. And let's say this individual whom you have connected with in a very deep and meaningful way is someone who you've thought of, well, maybe I'll ask them about this entrepreneur idea I have. Or maybe I'll ask them about this career issue. Because certainly their wisdom has got to be transferable, if you will. I would ask you to stop and really think that through. Not because the person isn't smart enough or they're not savvy enough, whatever the case may be. It's just, you have to ask yourself the question, are they the appropriate person to mentor you in this issue? See, if you're like me, it's easy to find yourself emotionally connected and feeling that just because in your head it makes sense, therefore it should make sense in reality. But I believe mentoring on the part of the mentee, there has to be a very strong discipline of knowing who do you go to for specific advice and help. Now, your mentor may be one of the strongest, most disciplined people in the world, but if there's a friendship and a bond that's been created, they may feel compelled to give you advice. They may feel compelled to try to help you with that business idea. When in reality, they know their best help for you, in this case, is spiritual. How do you address this? How do you make sure that you don't do this? Well, the first thing is you got to have that constellation. You have to make the deliberate decision. I'm going to have a business mentor. I'm going to have a spiritual mentor. I'm going to have a physical fitness mentor. Whatever it is that you feel that you need that help with. And don't let them cross over, if you will. Keep them succinct in their area of expertise. Again, I'm not advocating that you don't ask for small, high-level advice. But if you need the mentoring, go with where the discipline is best suited. The danger in this is that if you don't, you're going to find yourself disappointed. Because the advice that you're probably going to get is not going to be well suited for where you're at. And who knows, it might even disappoint you to the level of where you might decide, I'm just not going to go forward with something. So very important to have a disciplined approach to choosing the mentor. And then you've got to discipline yourself. It's not a case of where you're against the individual's thought process or their advice. It's just you're not going to put them in a position of where they really can't help you. You'll do them a favor and you'll do yourself a favor. And the last thing is, when you're engaged with mentors, you have to remember something. They're human beings. They're limited. They're not to come alongside of you to be all and end all. By doing these three things, I think what you'll find is you'll keep your advice succinct and the road you're on will not be filled with detours or missteps. Thanks for tuning in. Have a great day.